It's been a while since I took my phone and talked. And well, I could tell you a story. I'm gonna sit. First things first. I could tell you a story. Many stories that are told about this. Like there's a thing to talk about. This is not non-duality, this is not life. It's just not a thing. It's just what's happening, and no matter how good or bad it seems, it's just life, and there's just nothing to tell about it. And that's the beauty. Maybe. See, I don't know what the beauty is. I wouldn't know what beauty is or what ugly is. No one knows, and that's all that this sharing is saying. Is that there isn't anything to share. That there isn't... How could anyone tell you that you don't exist, or that you do exist? That there is someone, or that there is no one. No one knows that. No one knows a thing. No one experiences a thing, yet it all seems that it's being experienced. And that's how it is, that it seems so. Everything seems to be, to exist, but there is no one having anything, losing anything, and so nothing really. It's all just as this inexplicable, unexplainable thing that is not a thing. So using the word thing is just using the word thing, and that's all it is. It's just a word. It's just using, but no one does the using. It's just being done, but there's not a thing behind that's doing it all. So talking about control makes no sense. Talking about no control makes no sense either, because nothing actually makes sense. The freedom that is being talked about is the lack of need for freedom, the lack of need for anything, although need seems to appear. It's just this life as it is. Who would get something here? No one. Yet this is sharing that seems to be happening for wonderfully no reason. It's just this. And I have no clue at all. I lately haven't felt like sharing. I don't know, it just doesn't happen. And why I took the phone now and started talking with absolutely nothing to say, I don't know. You see, if there is a need to want something, that's what's happening. If there is a seeming need to, it's what's happening, but nothing of that is real or solid. But these are just words that are not, that are just pouring out. That don't mean anything, it's just storytelling. It's beautiful, really. But it's just what's being said now, on the spur of the moment. Everything is just the spur of the moment, but not as in the presence or being now. It's not that, it's just, that's why this message is actually rare, even though it seems a lot more people, quite however you want, characters, seem to share it. It only seems so. There's no resonance, no, there's nothing needed, there's nothing that needs to be gotten. It's just this. Inexplicably this. Unknowingly this. So yeah, I'd say this type of sharing is rare. It actually doesn't exist, because it's not something that's being shared. It's not someone that knows something, and it's not no one that doesn't know anything, or I don't know. It's just life. And who wants just that? Well, it's irrelevant who wants that, because there's just this. Anyway, what's going on? It's sharing the unshareable. Why? I don't know. It's got nothing to do with how one appears to feel, because how one appears to feel is just what appears to be. And that changes all the time, and no one controls that. But nothing actually changes, because there is nothing actually happening. It would take a real someone, a real entity, a real being, a solid center to exist and to claim this is it, as it is. There's not even a claim here that this is as it is, because I don't know what this would be. But put in simple words, this is it. But it's just put in 2 words. It's all it is. But that's just a story. Everything is. There's no getting out of stories. There's no being in stories. There's just no being, no center, no. And so all those words are just not pointing to anything. This is nothing being pointed to. There is nothing being pointed to at all. It's just how it seems to be. There's bees. It's just this inexplicable story. That's not a story. It's not anything that no one would know. It's just life with all it has, and that's the wonder. Everything, it seems, and it doesn't. Life doesn't have anything. Saying life has something was just a word that came for no reason, because it doesn't mean anything, because there's no way to talk about it or not to talk about it, because there's nothing that's being talked about and no one talking. It's just happening. Or so it seems anyway. It's just all what seems to be going on. That's all there is. There's just nothing to understand and nothing that needs to be heard. No one's living. There's no conclusion to that message. There's no end, no beginning to that message. There's not a message. If there's confusion, there's confusion. That's what's being described then. That's what is. But what else? But everything else, nothing else. I have no clue. It's all just this. All of it.